Millions of ages, now we see it, hear it, receive and maintain it. May we completely realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
All right. Good afternoon. It's been a very deep and quiet session so far. No, it's interesting. We now officially start session on Wednesday night. And I think this open sky on Thursday is really just deepening everyone's practice, whether you happen to be there or not. Like everything in the Sangha, the more that our individual practice deepens, it just opens its hands to everyone and just gives it away freely. It's nice to appreciate that. It's nice to be in the midst of that. Thank you. We are truly brought to ourselves by ourselves, What we do and how we are matters so much for each other. And especially when we're practicing the Dharma for each other. So thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to start reading from the second part of the packet, because we're already well into the Anga, which is hard to believe. It goes fast. So today our reading is from Suzuki, and then from there we're going to look at case 24 of the Mumonkan, Abandon Words and Speaking. From Shunryu Suzuki. As a philosophy, Buddhism is a very deep, wide, and a firm system of thought. But Zen is not concerned about philosophical understanding. We emphasize practice. We should understand why our physical posture and breathing exercise are so important. So I'd like to actually stop right there, because this is really important to emphasize. So pretty much, other than sex and food, Zen goes through the body. And the body is the teacher. So our body, just as it is, in various stages of sickness and in health, is fully endowed with all that we need for practice. We were born as Buddhas with our Buddha nature firmly intact. We were all born with our Dharma treasure in all the cells of our body, shall we say. I mean, even to really get that, we're going through the body. This is very different from our normal way of being in the world. Mostly we're going through the world with our heads and our minds, in our intellect, right? Thank God Zen is a body practice, because we have some very smart people sitting in this Zendo right now. I would assume that they're here because their intelligence hasn't quite cracked the code yet, right? Well, the good news is that nobody's intelligence could crack the code. It really doesn't matter how much you know or how fast your brain is. In this particular area, God knows we need brains and we need all of our capacities to be bodhisattvas in the world. But the difference is that as bodhisattvas in the world, our intellect is completely integrated with whatever this other thing is that we can't name, that we can't box up, that we can't fix a meaning to. And it's that actual integration that is, I think it's a little bit of, Nietzsche's superior man or something like that. This is our noble birthright, to integrate this profound and very facile intellectual capacity that we all have with this great heart of being. Instead of having a deep understanding of the teaching, so this would be stages of the path, lots of books, having read lots of books about Zen in Buddhism. We need a strong confidence in our teaching, which says that originally we have Buddha nature. Our practice is based on faith. Okay, now, guess what? We're doing religio, religion. Anybody who tells you that Buddhism isn't a religion doesn't really know what religion is, or wouldn't define it the way that I would recognize. So you have to have faith in the Buddha nature of everyone you meet. Including the meeting of yourself. What is that Buddha nature? What is that Buddha nature? You can't define it. You can't think your way into it. You were born with it. I think it's because we were born with it that we have to trust our body. We have to trust that we were born with this Dharma treasure. And in the face of whatever would tell us otherwise, we sit erect, the mind in the hara, the spiritual center of the body, and we trust the breath. We trust the moment the body is in, with all of its sensations. This is the Buddha. We trust all of our senses communicating Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. Before Bodhidharma, people thought that after a long preparation, sudden enlightenment would come. Thus, Zen was a kind of training to gain enlightenment. Actually, many people today are practicing Zen with this idea. But this is not the traditional understanding of Zen. The understanding passed down from the Buddha to our time is that when you start Zazen, there is enlightenment, which is why with no preparation at all, you stumble into it. There is enlightenment without any preparation. It's already here. So the good news is, it's already here. Right? You don't have to manufacture a thing. There's no way to not be it. There's no way that anything isn't it. I don't know about you, but I think that's a really positive religious experience. This is really, wow, if you want to practice a positive religion, I would be going to the Zen Center. And you don't have a whole lot of hell you got to deal with. You know, it's just got to realize your Buddha nature. Whether you practice Zazen or not, you have Buddha nature. So what would it be like if you sat the rest of this retreat and said, I got this. I got Buddha nature. I don't have to work on that at all. All I have to do is relax. Stop throwing up sand in my Dharma eye, right? No more sand in the Dharma eye. Because you have it, there is enlightenment in your practice. So right now, as we're sitting, in whatever state we're in, there is enlightenment in the practice, in you, in me. You know, people, like when we're in it, sitting, we don't realize it, but especially during retreat, when people come in after we've been sitting for a couple of days, it's like, whoa, it's a big blast of something going on, right? And that's because everybody's practicing their Buddhahood. Everybody's practicing enlightenment, you know? And honestly, whether you realize it or not, it's happening. The points we emphasize are not the stage we attain, but the strong confidence we have in our original nature. So, I mean, we're all adults in the room. We are pretty confident people. Most of us are type A-ish people in the Zendo. Some are like type A to the second or third or fourth power. And you know who you are. So that we're all really familiar with strong confidence, right? So bring that to bear to your sitting. And you don't have to do much else. You just turn that quality of mind to your own Buddhahood. So the strong confidence we have in our original nature and the sincerity of our practice. So sincerity has a lot to do with discipline, right? And open-heartedness coming together. And there's also kind of a grandmotherly aspect to it as well. Sincerity is being very close to what's happening when you're on the cushion, having as best you can fidelity to practice, breath by breath, moment to moment, and allowing for things to go awry, right? And expecting that things will go awry because we're humans. We get off track. We lose our focus. And when that happens, you just, oh, come on, oh, yeah, right, here I go, just back again. You know, and there's this sort of very loving return. And that loving return is really important. This loving return is actually your enlightened nature shining forth. But make no mistake, that enlightened nature is not separate from wandering afar and losing focus, right? We should practice Zen with the same sincerity as Buddha. Well, I don't know exactly what Buddha's sincerity was, Shakyamuni's sincerity, but I know what the sincerity I see here in the Zendo. If originally we have Buddha nature, the reason we practice Zazen is that we must behave like Buddha. So we must show up like an awakened being in the world. Of course, this is our great vow, right? For the sake of all beings, to bring all beings to this awakening. I, myself, will do this in this lifetime. To transmit our way is to transmit our spirit from Buddha. So we have to harmonize our spirit, our physical posture, and our activity with the traditional way. So this harmonizing spirit, sort of mind, body, spirit. Again, we don't have to worry about actually doing it. It's happening as we're sitting. We are sort of, because we were born with Buddha nature, and we're just sort of saying, yes, I really deeply and profoundly need to know what this Buddha nature is, who I am, what the heck is going on here. As soon as we make that deep vow, as soon as we raise the Bodhi mind, immediately our Buddha nature responds in kind. And that harmonization starts to function, if you will. And we don't have to worry about a thing. We don't have to, quote, do it. It's happening. It's happening. So you can really feel through Suzuki, he was so intimate with trusting this Buddha nature that it even communicates through his words down to the words that I speak, that he spoke. And you can feel him inspiring us, right? So case 24, abandon words and speaking. A monk once asked Master Ruketsu, both speaking and silence are concerned with re-be relativity. How can we be free and non-transgressing? Ruketsu said, how fondly I remember Konan in March. The partridges are calling and the flowers are fragrant. Mumon's commentary. Fuketsu's Zen works like lightning. He has his way and marches along. But why does he rely on the tongue of the ancient poet and does not get rid of it? If you clearly see this point, you may attain absolute freedom. Abandon words and speaking and say a word. Mumon's poem. He has no high-flown words. Before the mouth is opened, it is revealed. If you keep on chattering glibly, know that you will never get it. So just so you know where we are in time, we're in the year probably 910 or so AD. So I think the Vikings are discovering Greenland. I think maybe North America has been discovered by the Vikings, I'm not sure. The Sunni and the Shiites are battling it out. A monk asked Master Fuketsu, both speaking and silence are concerned with re-be. So let's get that cleared up, shall we? Re and be. Now remember, you say it every time you come to the Zendo, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, right? That is the core teaching of the Heart Sutra. So this is another way of saying form and emptiness, okay? Just so you can get a handle on it. So Ri would be the emptiness, the absolute part. It's the Dharma that can't be contained by names. It's like the oneness. It's the Dharmakaya. Everything returning to the one body of the Buddha. And the B is the relative, the working of the Dharma in activity, in phenomena. So that's what we're doing. We are sitting here as Re-B. Right? I am Re-B, I am Re-B, I am Re-B. Oh no, 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 no. I don't know where that came from, to tell you the truth. So, the speaking part is the B, and the silence is the Re. So, this is like a great philosophical debate, but actually it's really about our lives, right? So what is it that holds the silence? What's before the silence? What's before the words? That's actually the question that this monk is asking. And why is it important to ask that question? Like, you have to really search your own hearts. Like, what is your experience of silence? Right? You know, sometimes it's devastating, is it not? When you want your loved one to pick up the phone or write an email, or you don't know where somebody is. Sometimes it's wonderful, right? Oh my God, you were at that concert and that music is just going boom, 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 boom. And you get in the car and it's like, oh, what's holding that, right? And speaking, the same, right? So what's holding the silence of our own hearts and minds, as well as this expression that is constantly arising in unity, right? The silence and the expression arising in unity, always. Speaking and silence are concerned with absolute and relative. How can we be free and non-transgressing in both speaking and silence? How can I be free in my life? How can I be free in being myself? The expression that is me in this moment. How can I be free? How am I free in this moment with this particular karmic unfolding? How am I free in this body that's decaying? How am I free? That's what the monk is asking. And then Master Fuketsu responds with, How fondly I remember Conan in March. The partridges are calling and the flowers are fragrant. What's really interesting about this is, okay, he responded with words, right? Well, that's not free. He used his words. What's wrong with him? There's another layer to this, which is they weren't even his own words. They were a quote from a poet. So, repeat. So, this is the koan. How is it that not only using your words or not using your words, and then using somebody else's words, totally plagiarizing, is a free expression of the Dharma, a free expression of your Buddha nature, of our Buddha nature. Now, the key that unlocks the door is sitting as you right now, right? Because you are actually sitting as that. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, just you're sitting as silence, you're sitting as words that are tumbling through your mind, some of them yours, some of them maybe not yours, who knows, who can say. You're sitting as that which transcends all of that which cuts through all of that. You're sitting as the total suchness. Does that bird sound, caw, caw? How does that transcend silence and speech? Can you, yeah, right? It's right there. It's right there. You don't have to make a move. Fuketsu Zen works like lightning, right? Super fast. He has his way and marches along. But why does he rely on the tongue of the ancient poet and does not get rid of it? If you can clearly see into this point, you may attain absolute freedom. Because when you see into this point, you know your own freedom and you know the freedom of Fuketsu. Because remember, Dharma practice is only like one mind being verified through space and time, through the lineage, through us transmitting it to each other and through each other right now. He has no high-flown words. Before the mouth is opened, it is revealed. So before the mouth is opened, it is revealed. It's so damn obvious, honestly, to tell you the truth. You just have to trust it. You have to trust, have that strong confidence that Suzuki Roshi's speaking about earlier. If you keep on chattering glibly, so if you keep on like just blah, 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 this is that, this is that, this is this is that, and just trying to like make your map of what's manifest work for you, right? Make your map work for you. You'll never get it. And what's so strange about this practice is that as soon as you say that, it's like, well, no, the map is not outside of it, right? Yeah, it's like, wow. It's almost like any solid ground that you try to step into and as just kind of falls away. But that solid ground that falls away reveals our true nature, our true life, reveals our natural capacity for confidence in our Buddha nature. Natural capacity for confidence in our Buddha nature. So, yeah, just sit as Buddha. You already have it. You have everything you need during the retreat to realize it. That's pretty much all you have to do, actually. And you don't have to manufacture it. You don't have to grasp it. And you don't have to run after it like Ming. It's right here.
Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way